Thank you. Okay, so I'm Graham Brown.
And I'm Allison, his lovely wife.
She is. And we own and operate New Personal Training Studio in Listowel, Ontario, Canada. It is a small town of about 12,000 people, and it has 2 gyms, a CrossFit, and now us.
We are super thankful to be here for this opportunity to share our story with you guys, and I hope that it will inspire you. Our story starts at rock bottom. My mom, when I was in high school, opened a fitness center, and when we graduated college, Graham and I came on board at the fitness center because we had such a passion for helping people. We loved personal training, and we got right into it. We got right into everything. We loved it, but we sucked at running a business. In fact, we were so bad at running a business that the gym was in arrears to the government for over $150,000. We owed back rent to our landlord for $30,000. We weren't getting a paycheck. We were very close to losing our house. In fact, we had to beg, borrow, and steal from family members to make mortgage payments, and we couldn't afford groceries. At times, Graham didn't eat, and I lived off of canned tuna. All well, we went to the gym with a smile on our face and served our clients, praying basically for a way out of the mess that we were in. One Sunday night, we went into the gym for a workout, and we met our landlord at the door, and he had a lock in his hand, and he was ready to repossess the building. And it was kind of understandable. We owed him a lot of money, and he was a pretty patient guy up until this point. But we begged him not to put the lock on the building, and we told him, we can do this. We know we can turn this around. We'll get you your money. So we didn't put the lock on the building, and I went home that night, and I called a family member who I hadn't spoken to in a very long time. And I told him what we were going through. I told him our situation, and he helped us. He gave us a huge cash injection into the facility and got us turned around for a little while.
And we worked really dang hard. We worked really, really hard. We were pulling crazy hours, doing everything in the business from the janitorial to actually doing the sessions, trying to figure out the finances and everything. And we were, like I said, doing everything to the point where I found myself on a Monday of a long weekend servicing the spin bikes because they were squeaky and somebody had to do it. And I actually had a workplace accident. I lost all the fingers off of my right hand in an accident there, trying to do everything. And that could be the worst part of the story, but actually when I got to the hospital and got through my surgery, they overdosed me on morphine. And I stopped breathing, and I flatlined, and I coded. And thank God I made it through it.
But moments like a near-death experience really give you perspective. And what it made us realize was that we needed to start focusing on what our dreams were. And what our dream was to send our son Andrew to an amazing Christian private school in Listowel, Ontario, which was 40 minutes away from the town we lived in. So we decided to sell our house and relocate 40 minutes away. And it put us in a very difficult situation with our investor. It made things very challenging. He was really upset that we moved. He didn't feel we were as dedicated anymore, and he started making cuts, big cuts, that put us in another financial situation where we were going to have to decide if we were going to lose our house that we just had purchased.
So we had a decision to make. Do we sell our house, move back to Hanover, rent a house, ride a bike to work, and hope that things work out, saying goodbye to our dream, or do we grab a hold of it and actually do something about it? And we chose the latter, obviously. We stayed. I thought, man, if I can just make like an extra $1,000, I can pay the bills. And we did. We opened up a boot camp in a block away from our house at a park, and we got the clients, and you know, at $100 a pop, they're coming in and doing their workouts, and things were good. And they were starting to roll, and we trained them through the winter in our basement, which was completely unfinished at the time, and rolled through to the next spring, trained them outdoors, and it started to grow. And I had a chance meeting with Barney Kunze that summer, and he said, you got to come to this thing called Fast Forward. And I said, all right, well, I'll try anything. So off we went, and I got to meet Mr. Tom Jacobs, and we set our 3 and 5 year goals, and we learned this 3, 6, and 12-month contract concept. And I thought, wow, that's awesome. That's going to be great for my trainers. And we started implementing. And Barney said, well, there's this other thing they do, it's called mega training. I've got an extra ticket. You just got to get a flight and a hotel and come down. And I had no idea how I was going to do that. I didn't have the money to do it at the time, but I decided, you know what? I'm just going to dive in. Let's make this thing happen.
So I'm thinking my husband has lost his marbles. He just spent a ton of money on a credit card that we don't have to go on a weekend to Orlando, Florida with Barney Kunze. And it's very out of character for him. And I was a little worried, but I thought maybe he knows something I don't hear about NPE. So I let him go. We had just had our second child. I was there by myself that whole weekend, hoping that NPE was the answer to our problems.
And I got down here, and you're going to experience, it was awesome. It was awesome. I was finally in a place where I was in a group of people who actually got me, who had been through some stuff, that actually had the systems and tools that I knew were going to turn this whole thing around and support us. So I got home, and I talked to Allison. I said, we got to do this. We got to get in here in a big way. I was ready to go VIP day one, and the financial realities started to kick in. We got a phone call from Stacy, and she said, well, let's get you an accelerator. Let's get you in the door. And we barely made that first payment, but we kept making those payments, and we kept working through that plan.
And we were sitting on a Sunday listening to a preacher, and he kept saying over and over again, the answer's in your house. The answer's in your house. And Graham and I looked at each other, and we realized we can renovate our basement and open a studio in our house.
So we did. And we finished our basement out, and our clients came indoors over that next winter, and we stepped up, and things kept growing. We were following the systems, we were following everything that was there, and our clients were happy, and they were starting to refer people to us, actually.
And our awesome coach, Nicole, at the time, told me in November, you need to post your goal on the wall. And let's set a goal for May 2015 to get out of your basement, because being in our basement as we're growing was no home life for us. We were trying to put our kids to bed at 7, and clients were coming in at 8 p.m. doing consultations in our basement. It was crazy. So I thought, Nicole is crazy. We're never going to get out of our basement by May 15th of 2015. But I followed the dang instructions, and I posted it, altering it a little bit to say spring, because I figured if we don't get May 15th, maybe June will still cover it. I didn't really believe her.
So things were going awesome. We're growing. We've got NPE developing us on a professional level. The new the studio, the training, it's coming along. We're building a community there. New Heights, the gym, it's starting to balance out. It's growing. And things are going really well.
Professionally. Well, on a personal level, January 3rd, 2015 hits us.
And that's a date we're never going to forget, because that day was the day that my oldest son, Andrew, went to for a doctor's appointment with Allison. So he had been getting pale over the holiday season, and people were noticing that, and I thought, well, he was still running around like a crazy 3-year-old at that point. And we sent him to the doctor with Allison, and the doctor said, your kid's fine. He's a normal 3-year-old, but yeah, he's a little pale, so we'll run the blood work. And I got a call at 10:30 that night, and the lab said, get your kid to a hospital now. I said, he's asleep. I don't want to wake him up. That's a lot of effort. And they said, no, this is life or death. Get your kid to a hospital now. So that woke me up, and I got him down to the hospital, and the doctor ran more tests, and she actually had to check them twice, and she came into the room and looked at me and said, I didn't believe this when I saw this. This is the lowest functional hemoglobin score I've ever seen in a human being. You got to get him to London, like, right away. So I packed him up, took him home, and got him ready to go.
And we decided that I would stay with our youngest child, Levi, while Graham went to London with Andrew. And it was one of those really emotional moments that no mother wants to have, because I had to say goodbye to my son, and I didn't know if he was coming back to us or not. So I just got on my knees, because that's all I knew to do, and say, God, this isn't in my control as much as I would love it to be. It's in yours. And all I pray is that our son makes it through whatever this is.
So we got down to London, and for about 2 days, they poked and prodded and tested him, tried to figure out what was going on. And on the Monday, Allison and I ended up downstairs in the children's oncology unit, looking at each other going, how do we get here? Everything was going so good. And they weren't sure what it was. Leukemia was an option, but they let us know he had this rare blood-bone disorder called TEC, which basically means his body stopped making red blood cells. And they had no idea what caused it, and they have no idea how to fix it, but they knew he needed blood transfusions right away. In fact, they told me, had we not taken him to that appointment, he had 3 to 5 days to live, and then that would have been it.
So as we look back on January 3rd, it's life-altering in a major way for us. Andrew is fully healthy now, thank God.
Thank God.
But what we learned at that moment was that during the hard times when we wanted to throw in the towel in this fitness business that we had embarked on, we thought a lot about throwing the towel and being done. But we had an amazing supportive community around us the whole time that really believed in what we were doing. And the outpour of prayers, and people mailed us gas cards, sending hope and love and everything to us, was amazing. And Graham and I came to this realization that what we are doing really does matter in people's lives, and we can't stop.
So we decided to commit to results and not just activity. We got into VIP on a whim. I got a phone call from Stacy. She said, the prices are going up. It's time to get in now. So we did. We jumped in and entered Mr. Brian Friedman to our life.
Who was the calm in our storm.
Absolutely.
He really was. He was the calm that I needed in a major way. Every time we got on the phone with him, as soon as you heard him talk, everything that was a challenge seemed to shrink away.
So Brian knew he needed to get into a commercial space, and he said, so guys, what do you need to do to get you there? And we said, well, we need about $20,000. And in true Brian Friedman fashion, he says, great, awesome, no problem, money's easy, go get it.
And I'm thinking this Brian Friedman guy who practices yoga is totally crazy. If it was that easy to get money, we would have done it a long time ago.
So we decided to get our Founders Club letter together with the help of Nicole and Brian. We polished it. We sent it out to our clients. We're all excited. This is the way out. And it flops, like completely flops. We sent it out to 30-some-odd people. We got 0 response. So we said, okay, Brian, what's the answer now? And he says, guys, how many letters are there in the alphabet? If A doesn't work, then you go to B, then you go to C, then you go to D, and you keep working your way through the alphabet till you find the right thing. So the plan was, we call everybody, we set them up on auto-closer appointments, and we tell them about our systems and the plans for memberships going forward. We asked them all to put $1,000 down, and the remainder they do on a monthly basis, so we had some residual income as it was going through. And lo and behold, within 2.5 weeks, we have our $20,000. And we start building the dream. And our members come in and they get on board. So not only are they willing to give us our money, they're willing to give us their time and to help us knock down walls, paint, and do everything that we needed to get us in that door. And that happened in May of 2015. Thank you.
So we went to VIPU, and what we learned was when you have your core value, mission, vision, and everything all together, you attract the right kind of people onto your team. And I cannot say enough about the team that we have. They're amazing for us. The logo you see in the background, they got us for a gift, and they painted it on our back wall. They gave their long weekend to paint the facility for us, and they said to us, thank you so much for the opportunity to be a part of this.
So there's New You, 1 year later. We've got a 3,200 square foot building. We've got a solid membership. And it just blew us away that we could get there in less than a year. But we wouldn't have got there without the community and the support of NPE. So Sean, wherever you are, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for building your dream, because now mine's coming true. My community's better because of it, and my family is better because of it. So thank you very much, Sean. To Stacy.
Thank you so much for believing in us.
Thank you for auto-closing us.
That too.
Nicole and Brian, thank you for being the supports and the kick in the backside that we needed to get us there. Tom, thank you for being the pretty first face that I got to see that got me excited about this. Tyler, thank you for teaching us Infusionsoft. It's gone a long way. Barney, thank you for opening the door to get us in here. Haristo, I don't know if you're in here, man, but you put $40,000 into my CrossFit program at the gym this year. Thank you.
For Fit and Lean.
For Fit and Lean. Josh, thank you just for taking the time, man, and teaching us how to launch something the right way.
Paul and Carolyn, thank you so much for coming to Listowel, Ontario, and bringing Balanced Habits. It has single-handedly changed our nutrition program for the good, and it's impacting so many members right now. They're losing weight. They're happy. Thank you.
The pages I can't say enough for your support and your help, guys. They brought S3 into us. We were crazy busy with both places, and they recognized that, and they said, don't worry about it, we got it. And they went out and they trained our entire staff without us. I didn't lift a finger, and they're killing it. And we actually just took home a $2,500 bonus check this month from Shackley. And Adam, I want to thank you for all your help with ClickFunnels as well. So the fun stuff, the numbers. There's our growth from September to just last month, because that's what we've got. As you can see, we've had an insane year of growth. But the fun is we started with 14 clients last year just after I left. Now we're sitting at 80, okay, 1 year later. We made $1,300 a month in October of last year, average client value of $96. They're all bringing in us $96. We've done $22,000 or more this month already. We still have a couple weeks to go, and our average client value has tripled now. We're sitting at $323 a month per client. We've knocked out our first year goals. I don't have to make another sale this year, and I'm going to make over $160,000 in that business. And actually, this last week, I auto-closed someone for about $5,500, so that actually goes up. So we're certain we're going to do over $200,000 in business this year. The gym is not losing money. It's making money. We're not working insane hours anymore. Our CrossFit program, we almost had to say goodbye to because it was totally not making any money. It's now making a steady return. And our personal trainers are happy because guess what? They've got 12-month contracts with their clients, so they've got guaranteed income now.
And all of that is awesome, of course, and super important to us. But what's most important to us is that 1 year ago, we could not afford to send our son to the awesome private school that we wanted to. And 2 weeks ago, he started there, and we can afford it.
So there's Andrew at his first day of school. So our rock bottom, like Sean said, became the foundation in which we built the rest of our life. Rock bottom got me here, got me in front of NPE. And I mean, guys, in 1 year, I just told you, in 1 year, I meant from about $1,000 a month, and I'm over $20,000 a month. That's insane, okay? Insane. You can do this. Put your head down. Drive forward. Thank you, NPE. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.